All right, let's talk about something that's right at the heart of this whole AI revolution, a side hustle called Remotasks. The promise is pretty amazing, right? Flexible work, good pay, all for helping build the future of tech. But does it actually deliver on that promise? Let's dig in and find out. So, you want to get paid to train AI? I mean, who wouldn't? You've probably seen the ads all over the place. People just sitting at home making money by teaching robots. It sounds like the dream gig, maybe a little too good to be true. So today, we're going to break it all down. We'll look at the pitch, what's really going on, and give you the final verdict on whether Remotasks is actually worth your precious time. Okay, so first things first. Let's talk about the pitch. What's the story they're selling you? How exactly do they get you excited about this idea of becoming an AI trainer from your couch? You know, at its core, the whole concept is actually pretty cool. Think about it. Remotask is a platform that pays you, a regular person, to do all the things that AI is still, frankly, terrible at. You know, like spotting a cat in a super cluttered picture or deciding if an AI's answer actually makes sense. You're literally teaching the machine how to be smarter. It's kind of futuristic, right? And then there's the number, the one that gets everyone's attention. They're advertising potential earnings of $18 an hour or even more. I mean, for a gig you can do from home on your own schedule, that sounds absolutely fantastic. It's the kind of number that makes you think, okay, where do I sign up? And they make it sound so easy to get started. It's like 1, sign up. You can even use your Google or Facebook account. 2, take a few quick training courses. 3, start doing tasks. And 4, get paid every single week through PayPal. It seems totally seamless, totally straightforward, but you know there's a but coming, right? All right, and here's where the story takes a sharp turn. We've seen the glossy pitch. Now let's pull back the curtain and talk about the catch. What's the real pay? Yeah, this is the big one, isn't it? Let's just forget about that advertised rate for a minute. When you factor in all the time, all the effort, what are people actually making per hour? What's the real number? And here it is, the reality. According to tons of user reviews, the effective hourly rate, which you actually pocket, often lands somewhere between $2 and $5 an hour. Yeah, that's a massive drop from that $18 they were talking about. So what in the world is going on here? How is that even possible? So how does that $18 an hour dream just evaporate? Well, the huge gap between the advertised pay and what you actually take home boils down to one single critical factor: mandatory, unpaid training. Okay, so get this. Before you can even touch most of the paid assignments, you have to go through all these training modules. And here's the kicker. You don't get paid a single cent for that training time. Not one. And what users are saying is that this unpaid training can sometimes take just as long, or hey, even longer, than the actual paid task you're training for. And that's it. That's how your awesome-sounding hourly rate gets watered down to just a few bucks. But hey, don't just take my word for it. Let's hear directly from the people on the front lines, the folks who have actually put in the hours on this platform. What are users saying on places like Reddit, Indeed, and Glassdoor? Let's find out. This one from a Reddit user just nails the feeling of frustration. They write, "Not worth your time unless you're desperate. You can easily spend an hour doing something detailed and end up making $2 or $3. I mean, wow, that lines up perfectly with that low pay rate we were just talking about. You can practically hear the sigh in those words. And it's not always just about the low pay either. It gets worse. Check out this user on Indeed. They raise some other major red flags, flat out calling the company sketchy. They talk about being fired out of the blue, with no notice, and even more worrying, not getting paid for tasks they had already finished. Now you might think, okay, maybe that's just a problem for beginners. But nope. This next review is from a subject matter expert, someone with real finance knowledge who had been on the platform for a year and a half, and even they saw things go downhill. They mentioned support getting worse, work becoming inconsistent, and then, yep, you guessed it, they also stopped getting paid for about 10 hours of their work. So when you pull it all together, when you look at review after review, the same complaints just keep popping up again and again. It basically boils down to this checklist of problems. Tons of unpaid training, pay that's well below minimum wage, support that's apparently awful and super slow, the work is unstable with empty queues, and that really gig one, just not getting paid for the work you've already done. Okay, so we've heard the pitch, and we've heard the reality from users. Let's put it all together. What's the final verdict here? And maybe more importantly, if Remotasks isn't the dream gig it claims to be, are there better places to put your time and your skills? Let's wrap this up. Look, this is going to sound a little harsh, but it really gets to the core of how this kind of work, well, works. The harsh reality of training AI is that in this system, you're expendable. No, really, think about it for a second. Your entire job is to teach an AI model how to do something until it doesn't need you anymore. You are, quite literally, training your own replacement. As soon as the model gets good at a task, the need for a human to teach it that task just vanishes. So that naturally leads us to the big question, right? If this kind of work is so unstable and the pay is so low, what else is out there? Especially if you have some kind of specific skill or expertise, are there better ways to actually make some money from it? And the answer is a big yes. If you have some real knowledge in a specific subject, business, science, math, whatever it is, there are way better platforms out there for you. You could look into online consulting on sites like Respondent or User Interviews, or you could answer questions for money on a site called Just Answer, or even set your own rates as a tutor on a platform like Wisent. The key is, these sites value your specific expertise in a much more direct and usually much more profitable way. So, we're going to leave you with this one last thought to chew on. People are calling this AI boom a new gold rush, and there's no doubt it's creating a ton of value. The big question you have to ask yourself is, what part are you playing in all this? In the AI gold rush, are you the one building something for yourself? Or are you just the fuel being burned to power the whole machine? It's definitely something to think about.